What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the history of the video games, where I'll be covering some of my favorite video game series that I grew up playing, where I'll be talking about the origin of the game, the chronological order of who developed the game, talking about how many games have been released and how many copies have been sold worldwide. Now, today I'm going to be recording another favorite game of mine. It's also the same, developed by Capcom, who made my most beloved franchise of all time. That's Resident Evil. And today, you guys, I'm going to be talking about the history and origin of the series Devil May Cry. Now, I'm a huge Devil May Cry fan. I grew up playing since the original Devil May Cry. There's a total of 5 different Devil May Cry games. It's been sold very successful. Devil May Cry is an action hack and slash game that was developed by Capcom from 2001 to 2008, and then Ninja Theory is their present developer, who made DMC Devil May Cry, which claimed to be positive to negative to the praise of the gameplay. So let's get right in ahead and start with the video of the origin of Devil May Cry. Now, Devil May Cry is a series of 5 different action hack and slash games with a modern of dark fantasy and gothic settings. The series was originally developed by Capcom and made by Hideki Kayama. Originally intended to be a sequel to Capcom's Resident Evil series, Devil May Cry was such a radical departure from the series that it was developed into a new property entirely. The series centers on the main character, Dante, who you play as the first Devil May Cry, who is Nephilim, who is half human, half devil. Now, the gameplay mechanics of Devil May Cry is heavily combat scenes, which allows the players to extend long chains of aerial attacks and ground attacks while avoiding being damaged in order to exhibit stylized combat. This element, along with time and amount of items have collected and used, are taken under consideration with granting the player's performance. Now, the recent release for Devil May Cry was DMC Devil May Cry. Was recently released on January 15th, 2013. It was developed by Ninja Theory. If you guys don't know who they were responsible for making the game Heavily Sword, a PlayStation 3 exclusive only, and it was also published by Capcom. Now, Devil May Cry it became such a huge success in North America. It's also relied on comic books, novels, an animated series, guides, collectibles, publications, and a variety of action figures. And the high definition was released from the PlayStation 2 title onto the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which covers Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3 in high definition. And let's talk about Devil May Cry. Now, after 1998's release of Resident Evil 2, the installment for Resident Evil series began under the direction of Hideki Kayama. Originally the name Team Little Devil. Devil May Cry eventually was known to be a survival horror game, but now, since they cut that off, they wanted to experiment something different with a modern dark fantasy and gothic setting, and Devil May Cry was born. Now, the gameplay of Devil May Cry primarily focuses on fast, highly speed combat, with the high style ranking requires long attacks and evasion streams while being damaged. Devil May Cry series also features some puzzle solving and exploration elements retained from its survival horror origins. Devil May Cry also in phases of action. Later, the game system was modified so players actively use varied attacks to use, such as the ranking styles. Now, let me talk to you about the ranking styles. For example, here are from the worst to the best. D, C, B, A, S. They are represented by words that start with the first letter of the class. Example, D is for dull. The third game introduced SS and SSS ranks, which continues the fourth. The player's performance on each level is also ranked using those letters. Devil Trigger is an ability where the player can transform into a devil-like form with additional powers based on their current weapon, Sparta, Rebellion, which is your main weapon throughout the game. While the character's strength and speed increases and health is slowly restored, there's also noticeable weapons in the series, such as the Force Edge Sparta Sword in the first Devil May Cry game, Rebellion from Devil May Cry 2, and the Yamato in Devil May Cry Dante's Awakening. The first 4 games also were eliminated the need to reload or conserve ammunition. Dante is generally the lead character of the game throughout most of the Devil May Cry games, along Devil May Cry 2 features a female protagonist, brand new character named Lucia. The special edition of Devil May Cry allows players the use of Virgil, who is Dante's brother, and Devil May Cry 4 featured a new protagonist named Nero. Devil May Cry 2 also was allowed to feature another character named Trish, who you encounter her in Devil May Cry 1 and Devil May Cry 4. Now, the innovation of Devil May Cry has been added some new gameplay elements. For example, in Devil May Cry 2, introduced the style meter and ranking, encouraged the player to attack continuously while avoiding damage. Devil May Cry 2 introduced the ability to perform combination attacks in mid-air and also an innovation button. It's also introduced a weapon charge button so the player could cycle through ranged weapons without switching to the inventory system. Devil May Cry 3, on the other hand, added another selection of gameplay, allowing the player to focus on their favorite techniques or weapons, whether it can be swords, guns, evasion, or defense. Each of the 4 basic styles gain experience points with unlocking more techniques and the abilities without costing red orbs, which are currency to the series, where you can purchase your health and double trigger. Now, the second changed weapon was also added in Devil May Cry 3, which primarily focuses the character's melee weaponry, special known as Devil Arms. In Devil May Cry 4, on the other hand, there's one major innovation in the form main button named Nero's Devilbringer Arm, which allows the player's ability to pull distant enemies and items to be smashed into the ground. Nero's arm with a sword that can be revved up with a throttle handle, allowing players to pre-charge for the sword for extracurricular damage to the next hit. While precise timing, it can also be charged after each attack for extra attack damage and style. Now, DMC Devil May Cry is the 5th main installment to the Devil May Cry series. It's currently a prequel to Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 4, and Devil May Cry 2, which players were able to reach hidden areas, use the option of the whip and grappling hook. In addition to the weapon similar to the Devilbringer from Devil May Cry 4, DMC Devil May Cry additionally added the environment itself, altered the attack by Dante changing its architecture and infrastructure to a much more hostile form, often prompting fast-paced, changed consequences and sequences. Now, the chronological order of Devil May Cry series is pretty much simple to follow. The first game refers to Devil May Cry 3, followed by Devil May Cry 4, and Devil May Cry 2. The anime series is sometimes between Devil May Cry and Devil May Cry 4, and DMC Devil May Cry is the reboot through the series. Now, the original plot of Devil May Cry 3 is basically simple. You play as Dante, a Nephilim, half human, half devil. You are also met in a mysterious young man named Arkham with a message of Dante's brother Virgil. An immense tower erupts from the ground a short distance away from the shop, and Dante takes it to represent a challenge from Virgil. Following numerous battles, Dante arrives at the tower's summit, Timimingaru, and battles Virgil. Virgil defeats Dante, apparently killing him, and departs the summit. However, the dormant devil power within Dante revives him, and he sets out to pursuit of Virgil. He eventually catches up to the ground in the control room tower located in the tower's basement. The brothers battle again until they interrupted by Lady, then Arkham, who is Arkham's daughter. Now, Arkham leaves Dante, Virgil, and Lady for dead and heads into the demon world. However, Dante follows him, eventually catching up with him, while he and Virgil work together to defeat him. Dante and Virgil then fight one last time, while Dante providing victorious. At this point, Virgil dives deeper into the demon world. Returning to the human world, Dante meets Lady outside the tower, where she coins the phrase, "Devils never cry," while trying to comfort Dante over the loss of his brother. They form a friendship and the beginnings of a partnership in a demon slaying, and he names a shop called Devil May Cry. Now, Devil May Cry series begins with Dante being attacked in his office by Trish. He brushes off her assault, and she explains that the attack was simply a test to see if he can really is the son of Sparta. As the demon's emperor Mundus is planning to return, he is fully responsible for killing his parents, named Eva and Sparta, who are both angel and demon, who are both their parents. Dante explores Mallet Island, where Mundus is originally located, encountering a variety of demons, including a strangely honorable opponent named Neo Angelo. Dante is defeated by Angelo, but upon Angelo setting Dante's locket with a picture of his mother, he flees, sparing Dante's life. Other encounters with Mundus, demon generals, serve to indicate Dante has become even more powerful than his father since his initial awakening on the summoning of the tower in Devil May Cry 3. Neo Angelo attacks twice, even more later on the missions, and eventually revealed to be Dante's brother Virgil, who has been forced into Mundus service since diving into the demon world at the end of Devil May Cry 3. Dante defeats Angelo, killing him, and mercifully releases his brother from Mundus. He then enters the interworld in search of Mundus himself. Once there, Trish sacrifices herself to save him, and Dante comes to understanding the power of Sparta that Virgil hath sought in Devil May Cry 3. Dante and Mundus then battle in another place of existence, and Trish returns, leading Dante her power and helping him defeat the evil mighty Mundus. Dante and Trish escape the island as the island collapsed, and later together work in the renamed shop Devil Never Cry. Now, Devil May Cry 4 begins with Lady visiting Dante's shop, still renamed Devil May Cry again, and not Devil Never Cry, to investigate the Order of the Sword, a cult-like group that worships Sparta, and has been collecting devil arms. Dante is originally uninterested in the case, but Trish, who appears to have given up her solo career and working under Dante's work, the game focuses ahead and takes the lead of Sparta with her. Later, Nero, an orphan who was adopted by the Order, witnesses Dante crash into an Order meeting and assassinate the leader, Sanctus. Nero attacks Dante and weakens his Devil Bringer arm, only to find out that Dante was not taking full responsibility to their fight too seriously. Nero pursues Dante along the way, comes to realize that the Order is opening gates to the demon world in order to harness its power. Sanctus is revived through demonic power, and he sets in motion to plan have Kyrie, Nero, who is also Nero's love interest, who is personally kidnapped. Nero pursues and fights against Sanctus, but is captured by him and used together with Kyrie to form the core of the Savior, a giant demon in the form of a god. Dante steps in and destroys all the Hell Gates, and that the Order destroys the Savior. Dante gives Nero the sword Yamato, the weapon from Devil May Cry 3, that formerly belonged to Virgil. The Order had found it broken, and Nero has restored it and used it to fight against his own Devil Trigger. Later, at the Devil May Cry shop, Lady pays Dante and Trish for their work. However, Trish is very unhappy with the amount. Dante avoids dealing with the situation and is a customer with the password phones, and the three head out to take another mission. Now, Devil May Cry 2 begins with Dante meeting an associate, Lucia, in a museum. She invites him to Dimitri Island, where he meets her mother, Matiere. She asks for his help in fighting Arius, a businessman who wields demonic power and is planning to use a collection of magic artifacts to corrupt the Arcana, to call forth a devil lord known as Agrosax. Dante flips a coin, and based on the result, he decides to help. Lucia confronts Arius, who reveals that she was his creation. Shortly afterward, Lucia gives Dante the last of the Arcarina before leaving to the Arius alone. Dante also encounters Matiere, who asks Dante to help the Arcarina to save Lucia from Arius. Lucia attacks Arius, though he captures her. Dante arrives and trades the Arcarina for Lucia, then attacks Arius, who escapes. A large stream of energy strikes the Ouroboros Tower, and a portal to the demonic world is officially open. Dante and Lucia arguably over who will enter, but Dante flips his coin to determine that he will be the one to go. After Dante departs, Arius returns to the human world, though Lucia goes to defeat him. Within the portal, Dante fights and defeats the partially summoned Agrosax. Sometime later in Dante's shop, Lucia muses about Dante and examines the coin that he gave her. Discovering it is two-headed, outside the sound of a motorcycle echoes, and Lucia to investigate. The player is not shown whether or not it is confirmed to be Dante. Now, Devil May Cry series has received overall positive reviews. In 2010, IGN placed Devil May Cry at number 42 and Devil May Cry 3 at number 18 in the top PlayStation 2 games of all time. A brief account of the development of history of Devil May Cry franchise has been aired into segments on the Machinima YouTube network channel. As part of their ongoing series, All Your History are belong to us. Now, Devil May Cry has received a 92% on PlayStation 2, Devil May Cry 2 73, Devil May Cry 3 84, Devil May Cry 4 84, and DMC Devil May Cry 86. And there you have it, you guys. Also, Dante was also listed as the seventh Game Crush Top 10 most badass video game characters list of all time. And there you have it, you guys. It's the history and origin of the Devil May Cry franchise. If you guys enjoyed this video, please smack that like button, comment, and subscribe. Again, another shout out goes to my friend, High Tech, very good friend of mine. Talk to him on Steam, on Facebook. Go check out his channel. Subscribe to him. He would definitely deserve the help. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm the Ultimate Gamer. I'll talk to you guys later. Be on the lookout for more videos right here on my YouTube channel, and stay gaming, my friends.